So why don't you guys get off your damn keisters? You know what you're doing, man. Yeah, you're putting bids on new houses, man. You think you're Donald Trump and stuff. Man, you're not, bro. You're in the Moose Hockey League. You're down for serious business. This is where it's at.
I don't understand the whole Luke LK situation with putting him back in the pool and then picking him up for more money than he could have got for just keeping him. But who knows? That's his problem, I guess.
Look, this is his MO. He's so predictable, it's not even funny anymore. He's going to go pick his boys over there, the shovel chins.
I don't know if anybody notified Scotty, but the money that you save from one auction does not carry over into next year's. So I don't know what he was doing, flashing his money with like 3 picks left.
I'm talking about JJDM, veteran here, been here since day freaking one, just like Yambag021. But this guy's got Moose Cups, unlike Yambag.
Every captain should be embarrassed they let him go to JJ's team. It's JJ's team too, so you let a stud goalie go to a stud D-man's team for $2.
Spam, I'm getting real emo over here. Not only the quality of the echo is annoying me to the nth power, man.
It's interesting that everybody said Captain McGinley was going to go out and get a bunch of ringers, but I'm looking at his roster and I pretty much know everybody on there, so you didn't do a very good job, Iggy.
All right, Moose family, we're live here once again. Welcome back to another live Moose Hangout edition here. And season 19 already kicked off last week, last Wednesday and Thursday night. 10 out of the 12 teams already had their opener. The other 2 playing tonight. It's week 2 here, Sunday night. We'll see if we get some scores. Maybe we'll bring in some score recaps here right on the show. But let me introduce the guests here. Unfortunately, we were supposed to have another guest on here, and that was Saint, but he's running some technical difficulties, I don't know, with the internet or whatnot. But we got the 2 originals here. That's all that matters. You know, myself, Jim Flanagan, and I'm here with the collar guy, man. The guy, you know, I can't wait tonight, Giants. You talked a lot last week, man. A lot of guys been giving you a lot of heat, man. This week, you know, we get to tell them a bit more. Ladies and gentlemen, Giant 918, welcome to the show.
www.moosehockeyleague.com. Follow us on Twitter at MooseOnNight. Yeah, Moose fam, it's exciting over here. You know, we started a new season right on Thursday. You heard Mr. Hollywood, a.k.a. Jim Flanagan, saying, you know, we could maybe go over some of the scores and stuff like that. We got, you know, we got some trades to talk to you guys about. A bunch of shout-outs before we even start, Flanny. Want to give a shout-out to Musta Fallen. This guy donated over $150 to the Moose Hockey League. So shout out to Musta Fallen, man. This guy's been around the league for a long time. He got in trouble mad times, and he still shows the love, man. So we appreciate you guys who helped contribute to the Moose Hockey League, Flanny.
Wow, 150, and that's not like Moose Bucks or Microsoft points. We're talking about real cash here, 150 towards Moose Hockey League, which is great, man. Guy like that to step up. But Giant, man, let's get things rolling right here, man. You know, like I mentioned, you know, season opener, some teams looking pretty good. Other teams, man, not so good. You mentioned there have been some trades already. We'll get to the trades later. Let's start things off. Unfortunately, I wish that we had Saint on here because I wanted to get into this, man. Now, Giant, you captained before some okay teams and then some that just struggled, man. And you know how it gets, man, in those parties, in those Xbox chats when things ain't going great, especially last season, you know, saying, what, 3 wins, man? And then now he came off season opener. Not only did they win games here, they won the series here against Scotty, man. They took 2 out of the 3. And here's a guy, man, a captain, Saint, once again. And looking a lot better than last season. And also, what about the guy Matty K on his team, man? Another guy that's been cursed on here. Got the win against Octizzy here. And Scotty, I'm talking about survival instinct, man. What do you think, Giant?
Yeah, and it just didn't happen, Moose family. The fact of the matter is maybe they had to take one of those games in overtime, but Saint got almost as much wins, or as much as he did all season last season, already up with 2 wins. Jay Zamorski paying $51 or $52 for that, worth every penny. Maybe it was a crappy shot with that overtime game winner, but it got in. Credit duly noted to Saint and the rest of his team over there. And who knows, maybe I don't think Scotty's going to hit the panic button yet. I think Saint's team is somewhat talented. We said he's going to, I predict he's going to go 500. Great job on opening night to Saint and the rest of his team.
Yeah, definitely. And, and that's what it matters, man. We found out last week, these guys could compete here in season 19, Last season, Saints team, not so great. But this season, they're competitive. They won the series. Yeah, it could have won either way. Could have been talking right now, Scotty winning the series. It all came down to that overtime game, which you mentioned. It was maybe a lucky tip there. Some say Hatch might have poked that in his own net, but a win's a win, man. Saint starting things off great here this season, taking 2 out of 3. Matty K, in net there. Like you mentioned, he was going up against Octizzy, a veteran here, man. And, they got the job done. For Scotty's team here, man, they took the loss here. They did end up with 3 points, man, 3 points out of the series. And they finished the series pretty good, man. They won 6-3 in that last game there. And what about Man, Bear, Pig for this guy, man? 5 goals, 4 assists, 9 points, man. That's not bad. Not too bad there for Scotty. I think they bounced back here, man. They took the loss there, but, I think it's only going to go up here for Scotty. So if we had Saint on here, Giant, I'll get into more detail, but I'm looking at the chat here. They're saying Saint might come on. So if he does come on, maybe we'll go back. We'll talk more about survival instinct, but we saw a lot of highlights from them already, man, on the top 10 on the Sports Center. So let's move on, man. And like I mentioned about the chat, man, there's a live chat there. So if you guys got any questions, comments, we'll try to chime in there as well, man. We'll try to bring that onto the live video feed as well. Let's go to another series here, Giant, man. Another team you talked about a lot on the draft recap show last week. I'm talking about Goofy J, the Goof Troop, man. They got swept here against Captain Aginla's Orville Redenbachers, man. All 3 games going to St. Espone, man. And these were big wins, man. I'm talking about game 1, 9 goals, man, 9-3. Then they shut them out 2-0, and they took game 3, 4-2. What do you got to say about these guys, man?
Look, man, I predicted St. Espone team, a.k.a. Captain Aginla, he was going to do good. Goofy, I don't know about his draft, dude. It's not working out, especially if you're getting spanked. I thought Captain Iggy was going to be good. I didn't know that he was going to be this good. Maybe Goofy's got to look around to maybe switch around some of his team around, because that's a atrocious loss, dude.
That's the thing. Are they that good, Giant, or is this Goofy team just that bad, man? I mean, he's already making moves. We'll get into the trades later on there. But look, they gave up 15 points in this series, and they only scored 5 goals in that entire series. And ironically, the guy that I thought maybe wasn't going to fit in this here well was Toxic Fallen. But here's a guy that put up 4 goals for that team, while the other guys struggled, man. I mean, Ice Cream Truck, a guy like you mentioned that might have been maybe overpriced here this season, he had 0 points. He didn't even get assists in this series, man, all 3 games. And you can't have that, man. And another thing, when a team like this is struggling to put up points and they're giving up so many goals, plus they're getting into a lot of penalty trouble, man. These guys had 18 penalty minutes in this series. Goofy J taking 8 of those. I mean, they got Bills, on there. You know how Bills is a tremendous goalie, man. But this guy's taking up 48 shots, man, in this series. Gave up 15 goals. I mean, when you're averaging 5 goals against average, it's horrible, Giant.
Yeah, no question about it. Something big has to happen, and it did end up making a trade. We'll go over it later, Moose family, but this is atrocious. Shout out to to Fallen Warrior 2, getting 4 of the goals, and shame on the rest of the team. Like, what do you want them to do? You know what I'm saying? Is the goalie situation that bad or what? You know, Bills is a pretty good goal player, so goalie.
Yeah.
I'm sure. So I don't know what's going on. Hopefully, this transaction that occurred and was finalized helps out Goofy and the rest of his team because they probably need it.
Yeah, I mean, Bill's definitely tremendous, man. But you know, when you're facing this many shots and you're short-handed that much, man, something's got to give here, man. And you know, Goofy's try and make some moves. We'll get into that trade. It involved actually 3 separate teams there. Just after the opener trade going down this past weekend, we got there. Was that Saint trying to get on here or?
Yeah, I think so. He said he was walking his dog or something, I got told.
All right. Well, if he gets on, he gets on. I know Bar down on the chat wanted to make that correction. It was $51 on that price, man, that we're talking about Jason Morski earlier. All right. Let's go on to other teams. Like I mentioned, 10 teams playing. That was 4 of them. The other 6 teams here. This series was Lethal Weapon, Colonelli taking on the Blue Barracudas, led there by Rocco. And this was a tight series, man. It could have went either way on here. Another one that involved a overtime game. You know, Rocco taking game 1, game 2 going to actually, I think went to double overtime. But it was Lethal Weapon I wanted here. And one thing to mention here, Giant, we talked about it a bit last week, was this guy, man, for Lethal Weapon, Drift King 99. And, you know, Drift King coming into this team, he got him at a $17 salary, man. And usually, I mean, here's a guy that's, you know, back in the day where he's drafted, you know, first round, second round, man, you know, unless maybe when he trapes, you know, that's another story.
Right,
you know,
right.
I mean, is Drift King the real deal here, man? NHL 13, some people, you know, said otherwise. I mean, but here, look, 5 goals, 5 assists, 10 points on this opener, and I think that was the reason why Lethal Weapon came out with this series win.
Yeah, I totally agree with everything you're saying over there. Yeah, I think it was a tight series. Could have been tighter. Lethal Weapon is definitely a good team. The better team definitely won this series. We'll see what happens. You know, they were close games, though. It seemed like it was very competitive series. And Moose family, please welcome Saint0420 to the program. Saint, how you feeling?
Hey, what's up, guys? Yeah, I was just watching Walking Dead. I just happened to catch the end of the Penguins-Flyers game. Go Penguins, won an OT, and I had to walk the dog, and then I jumped on. I had a little bit of problems connecting, but I'm with you guys.
All right.
Okay,
Here's a guy that's walking with his head a lot higher, man, with his chest up. I'm talking about Saint, captain of Survival Instinct, Saint, man. Finally, man, starting things off here. Great season 19. We talked about it a bit when we started the show here, man. How was that party, man? How was that party? Because I know you, but also Matty K, you know, has been on quite a bit of a curse as well to get this win here to start things off for season 19.
Well, you know, going into the draft, I decided my number 1 target was going to be D-Mart, and he pulled out of the draft last minute because his work schedule changed. So after that happened, I knew I was going to go for Jay-Z. I wasn't really sure how high I was going to go for him, but once I hit 40, I said to myself, go big or go home. So I went for it and ended up picking up Jay-Z. And I picked up Bender and Scotty Main for a combined 31, which, in my opinion, I think it's a steal. Combined, the two of them should have been at least $40 combined. So I think I got a steal with them. And Matty K, he has the Jason Blaze curse on him, but I have a lot of faith in Jason. Matty K, regardless of what Jason Blaze had to say about him and curse him, he did really well for Sweat last season. And coming out of the draft, I felt really good about the team. And this win we got was really big. To be honest, it could have gone either way the second game. Like you guys saw, it went into overtime, and it went not far into overtime, but it did go into overtime, and it was a strong defensive game, both sides. And game 3, we ended up having a restart after the first period because Bender and WG Phil dropped like simultaneously. And so we had to get the restart, and after the restart, we lost all our momentum because we scored the last goal. and we lost all our momentum, and we did the best we could to keep up, but we still came out with a series win.
Okay, okay. How about your opponents there, man? Scotty, there goes our hero. What can you say about the opponents there? I mean, you got Octizia in that there. You mentioned WG Phil. This Man Bear Pig guy came out tremendous. What do you about Scotty? I mean, you mentioned the series could have gone either way. It pretty much came down to that overtime game. But what about Scotty, man?
Well, I think they have a strong team. They just need a little bit of work with Octizia and net. Going back to net after playing forward and defense for so many seasons, we haven't seen Octizia and net for quite a while, I believe. And stepping back in between the pipes, let me tell you, playing against him, he was phenomenal in net. We barely got the goals by. I mean, you saw some of the replays of some of the goals we got, and there was nothing that he could do with the goals that we got on him. But other than that, he was standing on his head, and I think Scotty's going to have a pretty good season. He's got a well-balanced team, and the thing that I think they need to work on is chemistry, because I really didn't see too much chemistry, and maybe he'll have to make some moves to get some chemistry going, but other than that, I think the back end of Scotty's team is pretty solid. Okay.
Some good input there, guys, right here live on Moose Hangout. Like I mentioned, we also have the chat going on moosehockeyleague.com. If you guys want to place any type of comments or questions, we'll try to answer them on here. All right, let's look at some of these other teams here. Another one, King Rome here. We are the next Pope, taking on the Pasta Pirates, led there by Hollywood Bob. And this one here, the Pope took 2 out of 3 here in this series. For the Pirates here, not much offense here, man. Not much offense. They only put up 3 goals in this entire series. They got shut out in the first game. Then they only put up 1 goal second game. Third game, only 2 points. Duke, no goals in this year. He only had, I think, 1 assist. They did have pretty good goaltending and beat Cripps there, 80.5 save percentage on there. I think the opener, they already called up must have fallen. We actually did pretty good. He actually scored 2 goals for them. But that's what I saw. I mean, I didn't see this Pirates team offense got to definitely get a lot better, while King Rome's team taking 2 out of 3. Giant, what do you think about these 2 teams, man?
Yeah, I think Duke is an excellent player. I just think he needs a program that's like tailored to him. You know what I'm saying? Like if the way that they play cannot be associated with him or whatever, you know what I'm saying? He's gonna struggle. So Hollywood Bob has to find a way, or has to find a system that integrates, that's applicable for Duke, because he could be, the top player on your team, which he should be, But the system for this series, it doesn't seem like it worked out. Hollywood Bob's a great player too. I think they got to try to work some system out. If not, I think Duke's going to be on the trade block real quick now. Now, I think King Romy's team is okay too, So you got to score more goals if you're on if you're on Hollywood Bob's team. I mean, Duke cannot have no goals, in a series. That just can't happen. It's going to be a long season or a short one, depending if he stays on the team or not.
Now, I know he was without that guy Bieber, so we didn't get to see him here in this series. I don't know if it's a permanent thing, if Must Have Fallen is going to be brought up or not. But on King Rome's side, he did call up Yambag. Yambag's now, been brought up. He actually did pretty good here. He had 2 goals, 1 assist on defense. But what about this guy Claremont, man? This guy Claremont who took a season or 2 off there, came back here, had 3 goals, 4 assists, 7 points here, which came out big for King Rome's team in the series win here. They also got a solid goaltender, man. I'm not even good, man. This guy had a shutout win, only 1 goal against average. Maybe King Rome's defense is that good, man. With Yambag, I'm not even good in that, man.
What's cooking on the southeast?
Well, I don't know. Going about Claremont, me and Rome went into a bidding war going into the draft for him. Rome just happened to have more money than I did, and he ended up getting Claremont. That's how I ended up getting Bender in the later rounds. But Rome has a solid team, and as far as Bob goes, he's got a really solid team. But Duke coming out with no goals. Was he able to stay connected through the whole series? Because I know we scrimmaged against Bob in preseason, and Duke was having a lot of problems staying connected to the EA servers and lagged out of games. So maybe he needs to get his internet connection checked or something like that. But it seems that he's been lagging out of games, and if Duke's not able to play for a team, that's a big minus for Hollywood Bob going to start any game he goes into.
Yeah, I mean that's definitely big. I mean that's where he put most of his money on was Duke. You know, most of his salary is right on Duke, man. And then you know I know they also got into a lot of penalty problems there. 19 penalty minutes for this team here in this series, which is not a good sign either. But yeah, I mean if Duke's doesn't have the connections, man, or if he's just not performing, if he did play throughout this whole series, that's a big part there. If we see Duke getting moved around, it might happen here sooner than we expected. In the last series here, it was NJ Skis, a couple drawn, taking on Sweat the Techniques, new kids on the trade block, and this one actually was a sweep. All three games were close. I mean, a double overtime game, and then the last game where I thought Ski's team pretty much dominated, but they still lost. Because of the great performance here in Flexible Pancake. This guy had a 91.2 save percentage and 52 saves throughout. And even though they got outshot, also the time of attack killed them, they still came out with the win here. They took all three here. NJ Ski not able to even get one of these games, Giant.
Yeah, it's not good for Ski. We struggled towards the end of last season. It was really downhill. I didn't even know if he was going to be a captain again. He found a way to stick with it. Look, Sweat the Technique. He's got a great team. It's going to be really tough games. I don't think Ski's going to have problems getting into the playoffs, but getting deep into the playoffs, it's the first series. Next series, if they don't click, he's going to start pulling the trigger, get some of these guys lined up. You can't start off the season now. They got 2 points, you're saying, Hollywood? They got 2 points?
They only got one. They got swept. They only got that 1 point for the overtime loss. Now, you mentioned last season him, picking up daily. But was defense maybe a part here for NJ Ski? I mean, Horton, I know he's a great goaltender, but he had a 66.7 save percentage, man, which ain't good. I don't know if it's the defense to blame on that, if Horton just had a bad day, but they got to be, man. And Flexible Pancake, I mean, this guy just tremendous. I mean, you can't ask a goalie to play any better than that, man. I mean, the amount of shots he faced was just crazy, man. I mean, over 50 shots in the series and still to get all three wins. What about this guy for Sweat the Techniques team? Meet the Assassin. I think he got him for like $3. Usually a goaltender, now playing forward. A lot of guys questioning him. But this guy came up with 5 goals in this series, man. Getting 5 goals, 2 of them were game winners, actually. Meet the Assassin stepping up here, guys.
Yeah, Meet the Assassin, a.k.a. Zach. He's known for being a goalie, and the last time he played was 2 seasons ago. He was on Kuzi's team, and then his work schedule got a little busy, so he wasn't available last season. But came back this season and wanted to play the forward position, and apparently Sweat liked what he saw in games that he was playing, doing scouting in the preseason before the draft, and came up with him cheap for $3. Meet the Assassin, a veteran to the Moose, has a Moose Cup under his belt himself, and coming in with Sweat and Luke up front, and Red Eye Jedi plays for the SHL League, I believe, and won the Norris Trophy in that league, transferring over to this league. Doesn't seem to have any problem. He's fitting in well with Hux Bucks over on the other side, and a lot of people were saying Sweat was stupid for letting I'm Not Even Good go and not keeping him after he won the MVP last season, but he filled in very well with Flexible Pancake, and I played a lot of scouting games with Pancake, and Pancake's still on top of his game, and I don't know if it's hobo luck or what it is, but Pancake's definitely on top of his game, and I could see Sweat going to the playoffs again this season.
Yeah, flexible packing. He's done this numerous times in the league. This ain't no surprise here with him. And to be a great goaltender, you also got to have great defense. So with Red Eye on there, I think he got a game winner in that overtime as well. And then you got, and the offense clicks like the way they are, man. With Miti Sassin, we know Luke is a great, tremendous player. This team looks pretty solid, man. Looks pretty good. I think, a team that maybe a lot of guys underestimated here coming into this season. Watch out, man. Watch out for the new kids on the trade block. And that pretty much does it. That's the 10 teams. There's two other teams. You got JJGM's team, and you also got Haymaker's team that haven't played yet. I believe they play tonight. I think on Monday night they play against each other. So should be a great series between those two. I got a message here saying about a happy birthday wish to AC/DC. All right. Happy birthday, AC/DC, tonight.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, I had that on my message board too. Shout out to AC/DC. Seems to be like a popular guy. Pretty diesel. He was diesel in the MHL in previous seasons. Looks like he's stepping up to the plate this season in the MHL, I believe. So shout out to a good community member.
Looking at these 10 teams, just from the opener on here, is there any team that that you guys look at it on here, which is like, you guys maybe thought they ain't going to be so good, but are, or maybe, that definitely stepped up and are even better than expected here so far in season 19, Giant?
Yeah, I think Saints team, I really thought they were going to take only one of the games. So I was happy for them, of course. I think that's tremendous after having the season he's had last season. That was better than I expected. And Captain Aginla, too. Shout out to Captain Aginla for that sweep. That's just crazy. I thought his team was good. I didn't think they were that good. We'll see what happens. Saint, what do you got on the surprises? Any?
Actually, my biggest surprise is the trade that went down with Hatemaker. Not even going into the season, hasn't even played a game yet, and made a big trade and picked up Digital Zen to play lefty for him. M. Bell, I know, has been away and is available to play the series tonight in their season opener, but he hasn't been around, and I guess Hatemaker needed to make some kind of change because something wasn't working, either in practice games or club games or whatever. Something wasn't working for him, and he felt like he needed to pull the trigger. And that blockbuster trade, the three-way trade that went down, I think Hatemaker kind of got the upper hand. He gave up a $1 MHL player and an $11 call-up to get a $11 MHL player and a $1 call-up. And I don't know. It seems like we'll see what Hatemaker has to do with them. But as far as the teams that are right now, Sainty, I'm definitely surprised they came out with a sweep. Ibs going in. I thought he looked pretty good on paper coming out of the draft, and ended up having his fire sale, was involved in this three-way trade. But we'll see how things go tonight. There's a lot of games being played tonight. I myself don't play again until Wednesday, so we'll see how the teams do.
You get to cherish the victory for a couple more days here, man, from that opener. But let's look at that trade, man. Let's look at that three-way trade. Two teams that lost their first series, Goofy J getting swept, were involved in the trade. You mentioned Haymaker hasn't played yet, but he was also involved in this three-way trade. And Yambak talked a bit about this, that Hate's going to do this, man. He's done it every season, man, making moves. And, the team that he starts off with isn't the team that wins the cup for him. So I wouldn't be surprised if he made even any more moves throughout the season here. But let's take a look here. For Goofy J, here's who he got. He gets B-Ruse, he gets Homebrews, and 15th. And then for Hatemaker, Cool Dudes Chillin', he picks up Digital Zen and Slapshot King. And then for Rocco, the third captain involved here for the Blue Barracudas, he's going to get Sniper 0270 and AC/DC. swap in goalies pretty much here for Goof Troop, getting B-Roos, but like I said, I mean, Bills is playing net there for him, so I mean, is B-Roos going to step up for defense here for, is that what Goofy needed? He wasn't confident with the defense that he had originally? Appears so. I mean, unless he's going to move Bills, which I don't think he is at this point. And then for Rocco to pick up Sniper and ACDC, I don't see much gain on there for Rocco in this trade, but who knows? I mean, I thought B-Roos fared off well, man, especially that he had him in net there. But I know Sniper's a versatile player where he could put him in multiple positions. Maybe he's looking to swap around positions. I don't know. Giant, what do you think about this trade, man? What's going down here, man?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Goofy definitely had to change his roster up, and he got rid of a couple guys, picked up Beirut and 15th. Homebrews, I think, is only $1. Correct me if I'm wrong. But I see what Rocco did. I don't know. I think he might have gotten the short end of the stick here. Looks like Hatemaker, I guess he didn't like what was going on his defense, so he ended up picking up Zen. But you're absolutely correct. Hatemaker does not win with the team that he drafts typically. And this guy's an expert. He's got 2 cups in only a few seasons as a captain. He definitely knows what he's doing. So he obviously didn't like something he see, or he had an opportunity to pick up somebody or a couple of guys that he wanted and ends up getting them. That's what I think. So we'll see what happens. And I'm very curious to see how they line up their rosters now.
Yeah. And this just in on the chat there. This is what's great about having a live video show like this for Moose Hangouts at 10 p.m. We get to see some score updates. Saney actually just won another one here. The first game against King Rome here, winning it 4-2. So he's 4-0 already on here. So 4-2 finish on that. Great update there brought by Yambak. Thanks for the update, man. Yeah, I mean, you know, I got much more to add on this trade. Like I said, I mean, a lot of players being swapped around so early, man. You know, just after the first series here. What about looking at the teams here just after the opener? Is there any team that's disappointed, man? Besides Goofy J's Goof Troop, is there anybody on here that you expected to played a lot better than they did in this opener here?
I mean, I don't know. King Roby played on Thursday too, or no?
Yeah, that was they played Hollywood Bubs team.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. No, I mean, I'm not disappointed in anybody. I think it pretty much is. I mean, you said the Goof Troop. I don't think they would be that bad. NJ Ski, I don't know. His team, dude, Cup of John. I really think, man, that Sweat's team is that good. So it's hard to say. You know. That's kind of one of the disappointments for me, NJ Ski. We'll see what happens too. He's got multiple cups too. Not as a captain, been struggling. Made it to the playoffs last season, but hopefully it doesn't continue and he gets things worked up.
All right.
Going back to the trade, Goofy picked up 15th as a call-up, and he immediately dropped Homebrews because that would have left him with 3 defensemen, and he called up 15th full-time to take over the center position for Goof Troop. So we'll see how that works out for him. But I'm sure Bob is disappointed in his start, and Rocco coming in, picking up Drift King, and going up against King Rome, very strong team, even though they have the Gangbag curse on them now, calling him up full-time. They got the Gangbag curse they got to try to shake off. But I think if anybody could do it, I think Rome's team could do it because Rome always puts together solid lineups and strong teams, and he doesn't play with anybody he doesn't believe in or have faith in. So I think Rome's going to go far, even though they have the Gangbag curse.
There we go, man. We'll see how that pays off. Hey, Yambag got called up, man, so he's got to step in for the MHL. He did pretty good, man. 2 goals, 1 assist on defense. Not bad for an opener, especially for Yambag. Pretty much does it on here. A lot of games here tonight, man, for Sunday night. I know Haymaker's team, finally we're going to get to see how good this team is. Cool Dudes chilling. They're playing against Colonelli, Lethal Weapon tonight. Also, JJ's team, the Aristocats, they're playing Rocco's team, the Blue Barracudas. So Rocco right away, man, has got tough competition right away starting off this season. And then we got Goofy J, Goof Troop, against the Pasta Pirates, led there by Hollywood Bob. So one of these teams is going to bounce back here tonight. We'll see. We mentioned Sandy Pone's team taking on King Rome. So those are the series happening tonight, Sunday night. We'll have those recaps on the next Sports Center edition. And then for the MAHL, what's that? That's starting off next week, Sunday?
No, Thursday.
No, Sunday. MAHL starts Sunday.
All right, so that's next Sunday for the MAHL. I think I'm going to have Toxic Fallen help me out with the box scores for those, man, for the Sports Center recap. But anything else, John, we missed here tonight, man?
No, just a couple of plugs, I think, right, Holly? Do we have a couple of plugs there? Oh, like the videos and stuff like that. Make sure you guys check that out on MooseHockeyLeague.com. Sports Center for the week. Top 10 highlights over there. You know, we want more of you guys to pick the highlights, too. Shout out to the media team, Hollywood, you and the rest of them, getting that stuff together, guys. Make sure more of you guys send them in. If you guys watch this top 10, you're going to hear Flanny saying stuff like, the reason this cheese goal got in here is because there were only 10 submissions last week. And it is the truth, man. I mean, some of these goals are cheesy as hell. And it was Captain Aginla, but it could have been anybody. So make sure you guys send that in. May 4th, if you guys get a chance, Hollywood and I were doing this NHL 94 tournament. So if you guys check that out, it's over here in Passaic, New Jersey. Any of you guys that are near are interested with that, it's $15 buy-in cash prizes over there. I think that's all I got on this, Flanny.
All right, that's right. Back to those top 10s. Yeah, we only had like one series each team this week, but there's a lot more games this whole week, so pretty sure we're going to get a lot better videos there for the top 10 this week. This just in on the, I don't know how true this is, man, in the chat, that Colley's team there, Spanx Hates team, 7-1 in game number 1. So Haymaker, man, getting beat up here, game 1, 7-1 final, man.
Wait, who did he play?
Colonelli's team.
Oh, Nikes, Jesus Christ.
7-1, man. That's not good, but hey, I mean it's game 1, season opener, season 19. So that's pretty big, man.
That's a significant, crazy. That is a crazy difference in goals differential.
And Hooks Books predicts that Zen's going to get moved around again, man. So, I don't know. We're only here.
How does Florida Gulf Coast beat San Diego State in the NCAA tournament? That's crazy, dude.
I don't know.
They're going crazy over there in Florida, man. I'm watching Miami and Illinois now, man, but this is crazy, dude.
Hey, Gonzaga got beat last night, man.
Yeah, man.
I had them in my bracket, man. I thought they were going to go far, but...
Worthless, son, worthless. Yeah, Saint, what else you got on your plate, bro?
Not much. We got a series coming up Wednesday against NJ Ski and his cup of yawn. It seems to be right now. We'll see how he does tonight. And then we play against, I believe, Hollywood Bob on Thursday. So Jay-Z's on vacation right now, so we'll be without Jay-Z. Possibly both series this week, so we'll see how we can bounce back. But I have a lot of confidence in my call-ups, and I think we'll fare pretty well against these teams this week. Going back, JJ making his series season debut tonight. We scrimmaged against JJ, and I got to say, honestly, JJ has one of the best passing teams of any team I've ever seen in the MHL. Like, they average about 65, 70% passing their games. Like, the puck just goes from stick to stick to tape to tape. But they don't miss passes. JJDM and his Aristocats with his keepers, Goodchild, a.k.a. Nate Babyface, member of the media team, and Weber, another member of the media team. Cousins, they were keepers, and they were definitely worth it with JJDM's team. That's going to be one team to watch out for definitely this season.
Okay. Yambak blew those guys a lot last week, man. He was saying, I mean, that was his pick to win the whole cup. You would be surprised if they didn't. So we'll see. I know they got a series here tonight. I don't got no score updates on that series going on, but we'll definitely bring you guys those tomorrow. I'll try to do the recap tomorrow. But yeah, that pretty much does it here, man. I mean, it's Jim Flanagan here with Giant 918 and Saint. Good luck rest of the season here for season 19.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Flanny. It's great to have you back in media. I myself, I'm going to do everything I can to get you things to keep this top 10 at SportsCenter going. I know you sent an email out to all of us when we kicked off the season opener Wednesday, and Jay-Z and myself sent videos to you. Scotty sent videos to you. We got what we could, and we got the recap for it, and it was really great. And then you went in and did the other one for the other games that started off Thursday. So, guys, the MHL, you want to get yourself seen in videos and be on the front page. That's the man right there, Hollywood. He ran the media before the Fan show with Mr. Giant 918 and Al McGraw-Octizzi. They used to run the media. We got some new faces in media, but hopefully, even though we're without the radio, hopefully we can continue to go strong and keep it going throughout the seasons.
That's right, man. That's right. And we're just getting started here, fellas. You know, just starting things off here for season 19. A lot of games still, a lot of season left here. So, Jim Flanagan, Saint, Giant 918, signing out, fellas.
Have a good night.